Okay, students, this chapter is all about you. It's educational survival skills. So, radiology, this program is really intense and it goes for 2 years nonstop. And just when you think it should ramp down, it ramps back up. So, this is ways to help you cope with the stress of the 2 year commitment that you are making for your future. So, look at your objectives. Make sure you understand the different objectives so that you can answer the questions well and understand this chapter. So, stress is produced by life events that place a perceived demand on daily activities. So, there's a way for you to calm your mind. Please try. So, there's a list of things you have to do every day. Try not to let yourself get so wound up that you become incapacitated. So that's happened to me a few times. I get so stressed that I just can't do anything. So there's ways to cope with that. So it causes emotional and biological changes in your body. A prolonged state of constant alert over time can result in serious physical or emotional illness. So a lot of you guys in your first year get sick, and you're sick all the time. And a lot of it has to do with the stress in which you're under in this program. So you have increased emotions, your heart rate's elevated, increased breathing rate, and anxiety levels, coordination, and it affects your nervous system. So fight or flight, a physiological reaction to a real imagined threat arising from emotions of both fear and anger. So physiological response is increased metabolism and fats and sugars, release of hormones, and you can feel that rush go through your blood when something really startles you, or you feel like, oh my gosh, you're right before someone, gets in a car accident, or you feel like you're going to fall. You get that rush, and that's your hormones releasing. So you have increased blood flow and cardiac output to circulate those hormones, and it stimulates your central nervous system. So you hear about those people that like pick up cars and everything. That's all your fight or flight. It's pretty amazing. So, stress in your education. Radiologic science education offers a unique and completely new set of challenges. Yes, you're just embarking on them. So, stress events may come to you in many sources. So, new science and knowledge and concepts, clinical experiences, patient and physician interactions, the whole balance of school, clinical, and homework with friends can really, really cause stress upon you. So, strategies to deal with it. Your self-image is important. So, understand the environment around you that is adding to your stress. Adopt a strategy of positive thoughts and emotions. Learn to politely say no to those who want to place extraordinary demands on you. It's going to be really hard. Your friends are going to be like, hey, let's go shopping, or hey, let's go get dinner, and you have an exam the next day. You really, really want to go, but if you go, are you really going to have a good time? Because you're going to be so worried about what's going to happen the next day. So take a look at it and say, you know what, it's really not a good night. Can we go tomorrow night? So there's a way that you can handle all of it. Oh my gosh, I can't pay my rent this month. I have to work. How am I going to handle, the exam that I have on Monday? I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it. So go to work, eat, set a timer for 2 hours where you sit and study for 2 hours, sleep, get up at 5 in the morning, study for 2 hours, go to work, come home, eat, set your timer for 2 hours and study. So there's ways that you can do it, and if you have a set schedule that shows that you're going to have time to study, then you're probably going to do a lot better. But learn to say no very nicely so you don't lose all your friends, but tell them that you are checking out for 2 years. All right. So, signs of stress are psychological. So, family and friends can often sense your stress. My husband definitely does. He's like, geez, your energy is just so intense right now. And I'm like, ah! So, emotions may be noticeable. So, stressors vary from person to person. You may get repeated colds, muscle stiffness. My shoulders get so stiff. Some people get GI upset. Some people get headaches, and the headaches could be due to high blood pressure. So make sure you pay attention to that. I don't want you guys with high blood pressure in the program. So make sure if you get chronic headaches, that's one thing. But if you're getting headaches when you're stressed around exams or anything, you need to go in and get your blood pressure checked. You have increased irritability. I know I do. Your cholesterol levels go up, and actually it's weird because you start eating really bad food. So I don't know if that's why you have elevated cholesterol levels, but stress, you tend to stress eat, and you tend to stress eat, for me, spicy Doritos and ice cream. So I wake up at 3 in the morning stressed, thinking about all the things I have to do. So my sleep pattern is altered, which does not help. So I'm not getting a full night's sleep. So it's really important that you guys get a full night's sleep. So a stressor can be any event that adds stress to your life. Stressors are unique to the individual. So one person may be like, oh yeah, no problem. The other person is completely melting down. So be respectful of people's stresses. It's different for you compared to someone else. So stresses are best dealt with by using strategies to buffer the stress event. So recognize that many stressors are outside your control. Okay, so homework, tests, and exams, yes, they're going to happen. Prepare for them the best you can, and it is what it is going forward. Clinical experiences, there's nothing you can do about those. They are what they are. So work and non-school responsibilities, you have to do them. So you can't just get out of them. So you have to just stand back and say, okay, this is how life is. This is how life is going forward. So there's also life's daily activities, such as showering, which is important, exercise, which is important, and trying to squeeze that in can actually add stress, but it's important that you do it. Please shower before you come to class. So, knowing the difference between a stressor and a hassle, recognize your stressors, plan positive activities, so uplift yourself to balance the effects of the hassles and the stressors. I want you to avoid conversations that shut out of control language and replace it with in control language. So what that means is you fly off the handle, you lose your temper. I want you to say, okay, I understand. This is out of my control. This is in my control. I can do this. I can't spiral out of control. So try to stay calm and try to keep focus. And always take responsibility for yourself. Don't make excuses. Just say, you know what? I didn't prepare for that exam. You know, I had to work this last weekend and I didn't do as well as I'd like. I'm going to let that go and I'm going to move forward and I'm going to do the best that I can in my situation. So it's okay not to be perfect. It's okay. I just want to see you guys healthy. I want to see you be successful. And for you, if successful is straight A's, you may want to reevaluate that and say, you know what? I'm successful because I'm still in this program and I'm doing well. So try not to put a grade on everything because that adds a lot of stress. Let that part go. But you do need to pass, so don't let it go too much. So understand that worry processes and that all stresses can never be eliminated completely. So no matter what you do, you're always going to have stress and worries. So worrying. Recognize when a worry process is in your vocabulary and thought process. 95% of things you worry about never turn out the way you might expect them to be. Worry robs energy from you. So you sit there going, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to pass. Oh my gosh. So negative, negative, negative. You know what? Stand back and say, I'm going to do the best that I can. And then that's all I can do. So don't waste precious energy on worrying about things that are out of your control. So just take a hold of what you can, think positive, and move forward. So many times we worry about things that are out of our sphere of control. Procrastination is a worry contributor. Do not procrastinate. I've noticed if I'm procrastinating on something I don't want to do, I'm worried about getting it done. So I typically take the stuff that I don't like to do and I do it first so that the stuff I like to do, I have on the back end. So, oh, great, that's fun. So if I have to do outcomes for you guys, I hate outcomes. So I always do those first because I don't like them And then the stuff I love to do, like preparing your PowerPoints, doing your lectures, I do last because I'm more motivated to do the stuff I like. All right. Don't procrastinate. That's the number one thing I can do because I get so stressed when I'm procrastinating and I worry about it all the time. Just sit down, get it done. That way it's out of your hair and you don't have to worry about it and wake up at 3 in the morning like I do. Oh my gosh, I've got to get this done. So I just get out of bed and do it. So identify these events in which you have some degree of control and exercise it accordingly. Understand that most worrisome events never turn out as they would. And don't build worry mountains, so don't let things compound. Okay, time is a stressor. We have little or no control over the amount of time available. Practice time management. Avoid indecisiveness when making decisions. Just grab the bull by the horn and pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, this is what I'm going to do. So set realistic completion timelines. And like I said, 2-hour blocks to study because you're going to be tired. So you can't do an all-nighter. Don't even try. If you worked all day, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be effective when you do it. If you set 2-hour blocks, you're going to do a lot better. Also, practice self-management. So I waste so much time on Instagram looking at dogs. It's embarrassing. And I've noticed that. So when I'm really busy and I have a bunch of stuff to do, I don't get on Instagram. I don't get on Facebook. I stay off the social media because I'll look up and I've wasted an hour, hour and a half when I could have been productive during that time. So pay attention to that and don't let that suck your time off. All right. Self-management. Know yourself. Know what your stressors are. Know what worries you. Know how you look at your responsibilities and make sure you get them done. So if you are great under pressure, which I do, but I don't like to worry about things either, and I hate procrastinating because I worry about it. So prioritize your activities and plan for your self-care. What that means is eat right. Make sure you eat a balanced diet. Don't eat spicy Doritos like I do. Go out for a run. Go for a walk in nature. When I do that, it brings my blood pressure down. I can tell I get calm when I'm outside and walking in nature or just playing with my dog on the floor for 20 minutes, and then I get up and I'm refreshed and I can go ahead and start up again. So stress buffers can help reduce the harmful effects of stress. So buffers are exercise. Get out and exercise. I know that time is a huge stressor, but take 30 minutes and go for a run. Go for a walk. Do whatever you can. Just if you're tired, lay down and do some sit-ups. Do a couple push-ups. Then get back to studying. Eat right. If you eat right, your body will be able to handle what you're putting into it as far as memorization, and your attention span is going to be better. I want you to visualize. So meditation and visualization. If you just stop, if you're really stressed, you'll see me just stop and I'll be quiet. And I collect myself. And then I start back. So get myself back to square one is what I call it. Biofeedback techniques. You do that. Relaxation techniques. I do that through just sitting and meditating for just a few minutes. So study skills. There's a PowerPoint in week 1 I want you guys to look at. It might be in week 2. I think actually I put it in week 2. So it's with these PowerPoints. I want you to look at it. And there's different ways to study. You find what works for you. Most of the time it's redundancy, looking at something over and over and over. So review the material soon after it's introduced. So I'll do this lecture, read the chapter, do the PowerPoint, and then make notes through the chapter. When you get to physics, cramming is not going to work. You'll need flashcards. You're going to need to outline the chapters. It's a lot of information. It's very foreign. So you'll get it, but you have to put the time in. Use as many senses as possible. Sometimes I'll read out loud and I'll record myself and then I'll play it back in my car. So I can hear myself. I remember seeing, I'm very visual, so I can see the words and I hear it. That works for me really well. So whatever works for you, write it on flashcards also, and so you can see it, say it while you're doing it, so you're saying it, seeing it, hearing it. Plan a regular schedule for studying. Study in groups. A lot of the times if you can explain it to someone, then you really know the material. Attitude helps remembering. Maintaining a positive attitude helps your body remember things. So keep that in mind. It is important to develop a study strategy that uses several senses. Repeat sessions with course content and frequent reviews. So important that you just continually go over the material. So I usually read the book, I watch the PowerPoint, listen to the PowerPoint, and then I outline the chapter, I make flashcards, then I'll record sections that I don't know well or concepts, I'll record them, and I listen to them playback on my car while I'm driving. So test taking tips. Avoid last minute cramming. It adds anxiety and stress and worry. Wear bright colors, so colorful clothes. Really important. It puts you in a better mood. So it makes you feel happy and energy compared to blacks or grays that just really make you feel down. So bright, happy clothes. Avoid heavy, high carb meals, and get a good night's sleep the night before an exam. The knowledge is in your brain. If you're tired, it's harder for it to find it. So get a good night's sleep, therefore your memory recall is a lot better. Arrive early and prepare mentally. So don't come running in late, all stressed out. There's nothing worse than starting an exam that is going to require all your focus and you're stressed out and worried because you're late for the exam. Scan the entire test to develop a test strategy. Review the test carefully and make corrections after additional thought. So go through and answer all the questions you know. Make a star or something, indicate ones that you're not sure about. Cross out the ones that you know are wrong. Circle and highlight key words in the question and define exactly what is being asked. That's the most important thing. A lot of the times you guys are misreading the question or you left out a word that's a key word. So I always say underline and circle key words, cross out, there's always two that aren't it. So cross those two out and then figure out the definition of the one word, definition of the other word, and then you can usually find your answer. So that helps out a lot. After the test is done, put it behind you. It is what it is. It's over and done with. There's no use stressing about it, worrying about it. It is what it is. If you didn't do well or you did well, just say, you know what, that was the best that I could do. I'm moving forward. The next test I'll do better. All right. Please remember that you are about to become a member of one of the greatest professions in medicine, and I agree with that 100%. Take time to consider the wonderful opportunity before you and enjoy the journey with sound strategies for handling stress, studying, and demonstrating your acquisition of new knowledge and skills. All right, so that is your lecture on surviving this program. Really, really take this to heart and do what you can to keep yourself centered and grounded through the program. I wish you the best of success.